Hi there, this is Dr. Rachel Davis, Emerald Ambassador with Plexus, and I'm here to talk today about strategy and goal setting. The beautiful thing about our team, Made for More, is that we have a lot of great tools that have been developed that we can use, and it's really my mantra not to reinvent the wheel, right? Unless it's absolutely necessary. So, our team leaders have so graciously put these tools um, in the Facebook group Leading with Excellence. So if you're not already in Leading with Excellence, please have your sponsor to add you to the group. There's a wealth of information and resources that we can use as we increase our raise our leadership lid and increase our um, productivity and our influence while we're building our business and impacting lives. So I will share my screen and take you guys to the, let's see, I think I can go here. Yes. To Facebook, which the Facebook group Leading with Excellence is where I found these rank up guides. So just a little bit about myself. I am an Emerald Ambassador, like I said, and I joined or enrolled on September 25th of 2019. I didn't start sharing until March of 2020 after my sister, Dr. Adrienne Williams, had a in-person launch in February, and kind of just lit the fire in me because I was like on the edge of my seat during that event. That was when we could still be in person and reach out and touch each other. But I was at the edge of my seat, like, and telling about all the things all the health wins that I had experienced with Plexus and all the ways that I know as a pharmacist, we've been able to, have been able to really help people. So you're on this call, you already know all that. How do you get from where you are to where you want to be? And a lot of times, well, early on, we had the pleasure of having a vision casting call with Robin Sullivan, our Diamond Senior Ruby upline, and fearless leader of our group. And she basically just talked about her journey with Plexus and how she started out not really, very similar to me, not really doing it for the business, but pretty quickly seeing where she could start to create generational wealth for her family and a ripple effect of change for her community. And I just fell in love with that. Right then, it just was like, oh, the vision was cast for me. And then she started talking about Plexus Lexus and going to Hawaii. And I had dreamt about being able to take vacations with my family as my kids are getting older. And I'm thinking, it would be nice to take a week, 2 weeks, just go. And we had not been able to do that. And so I was just dreaming about those things and really wanting to drive free for a long time. I always had that desire, and I never quite thought it would be a reality for me until she started talking about those things. So if you have a desire to build a business and become a jewel or a diamond reentry with Plexus, the tools are here for us. So, and the encouragement, of course, and the leadership, Robin has paved the way for so many of us. And I'm hoping that I can just show you some things that we're able to use here in Leading with Excellence. Let me just point out, they have these, if you have not seen them, they have these resources here, these graphics, and they have them for each rank. So it makes it a little bit, if you're a visual person, it makes it a little more, a little easier to see how you actually rank up to the next level. What does that even mean? So just for example, I'll use Ruby. So to rank to Ruby, you need 500 pay points in your organization for a current month. 100 of those 500 points must be on your outside of your primary leg. And I'm pretty sure that we've talked about outside leg points, but that just means that most of your business can't be all on under one of your level ones. It has to be spread out. So in order to get to 500 pay points, they break it down into this simple equation. 5 gold ambassadors essentially would get you to Ruby, right? But it could be any combination of that, because a lot of strong businesses are very wide, meaning your level ones, you grow your business and cultivate or duplicate on your level ones, and getting them to silver, getting more level ones to silver. Of course, you would have to have more level ones for this point breakdown. But a lot of businesses that are very strong have wide, wide, are wide, what you call wide businesses, and not necessarily wide and deep. So let's just say that. So this would be a example of wide and deep. So I like to show this because it talks about, just gives you a background about ranking up, and when you're trying to build a strong business, what that could possibly look like. So gold is 100 pay points, and if you have 5 gold ambassadors, then you would have quite naturally 500 pay points. But if you have, let's say you have 2 or 3 gold ambassadors, and then you have, that would be a difference of, so let's say 300, 200 points, and let's say you have a senior gold, a senior silver, and that's 50 points, and you have 4 of those. So then that would make up 200 points. So your organization will be a 500 point or Ruby organization. So hope that makes sense. So how do we get there? Why do we even, why are we even talking about ranks and points and going, and what is the roadmap, right? So the team so graciously has provided us this reference or resource. Let me go back to the group. This is Leading with Excellence again, and under files, you see right here, files, you click there, and it is the goal sheet and Launching Strong Team Made for More PDF. So if you can download that, we're going to walk through that really quickly. And it, like I said, it's a invaluable tool to help you reset every month, and then also help your team to reset every month. Your team should be filling this out at the first 2 days of the month, and then you guys walk through it to see if your strategy is aligned with meeting your goal. And this document is a great way to do that. So Launching Strong and Getting Ready to Fly, on page 1, it talks about my goals. I commit myself to 1 year focus on my new business. So these are very important to talk to new business builders or people interested in building a business, to get their why and their motivators, because you can go back to these sheets when we have those days that we are not really feeling so inspired or enthusiastic about reaching out, or we having dips in our business, like lulls, and we're not growing as fast as we were. We can go back to these whys and maybe just get some perspective as to why we even started sharing to begin with. A lot of times I like to go back to old texts or old messages that I've gotten when I'm having a not so great day in my business, and it just really helps me to reimagine why it is that I started to do to share Plexus and realize this as a dream for me and my health and my wealth. So as you go on this document, it also talks about easiest and best. This is helping your team to write down 10 people who it would be easiest to share Plexus with, or 10 people who need Plexus the most. And it's good to do that at the beginning of your journey and throughout, really, and just keep your list refreshed. Let's see, keep going. Of course, all of these really great resources to get you to stay plugged in are good good ways to help us to fortify us to meet our goals and realize our goals. Constant training and lifting our leadership lid. But I'm going to go down. When you have a minute, you can review the other parts of this document, but I'm going to stop here. And if you look at your impact income, it starts with just 3 lives, and you can start to imagine where you want to be in your business. If you do this on a monthly basis, of course, you can base it on your big, hairy, audacious goal. Like, if there were nothing getting in your way, what rank would you, or what monthly goal, income goal would you want to land at? So I think that's a good way. If you're motivated by something other than the income, let's say you're motivated by vacations, you're motivated by recognition, being consistent. There are just different things that motivate people, but a lot of times we start the business because we see the earning potential there. So let's say, for example, you are currently a silver ambassador and you are wanting to rank to gold. Okay, let's say, so now using that example, so you're a silver ambassador now, and your next month goal is to rank to gold. We know that you have gotten, or let's say senior silver. Senior silver is 50 points. Gold is 100. So you essentially have to double your points. So let's go to here. So launching strong, it's a new month. Last month I signed X customers, X ambassadors, and then my team signed X ambassadors. And I ended at, let's say you were senior silver going to gold. So let's say you exceeded the 50 points and you're landed at 60 points last month, 60 points. So this month your intentions are to sign, let's say your intentions are to rank to gold, right? So that's 100 points. You ended at 60, so the point gap is 40. So essentially you would need 8 ambassadors if you want to break it down that way. So either 4 for you and 4 for your team, or let's say 2, 3 for you and the rest for your team. So that can give you an idea. Customers are very important too. So we do get commissions on customer orders. So that factors into your bottom line on your monthly average income. And at the end, we want to go for at least 100 points. And then you write down what you made in your paychecks and what you would like to see in your paycheck this month. I think this is very important to go into the why. So when you're looking at your goals, and then where you want to be the next month, and when you're helping your team do the same thing, these questions are equally as important as understanding the numbers, sometimes even more important. Immediate need or reason to move forward. You have an unexpected expense that you wanted to, or a bill that you wanted to pay off. Write that number down and make it plain. My long-term reasons for growing personally, financially, or impact, this goes back to your why, like your bulletproof why. I'm building generational wealth for my family. I want my kids to go to private school. I want to take a family vacation every year. As long as we can do it, and I'm gonna pay for everyone, that beach money that Robin talks about. So long-term reasons why, and then immediate reasons why you need to move forward. I think it's important to point out that everybody has a day or 2 or 3, some days where it's like, it kind of gets icky. Right? And you're like, oh, not really feeling it. But I think that when we can draw back to the reason why we do it, and our children's future, our children's future. For me, it just kind of wakes me up and gives me some perspective. Who am I locking arms with this month? Who is your sideline sister or your upline or even somebody on your team that you're locking arms with and running with, that you can have as an accountability partner? Or what are their goals? Are you, how are you guys linking up to meet your goals and helping each other do so? My intentional thought for capturing negativity and discouragement this month. I think that this is very important to understand that we do have to corral those thoughts, get out of our minds and get out of our way, because a lot of times we are our worst enemy when it comes to that negative self-talk. And I'm definitely learning that on this journey, that I do have control over that, and all it is a mindset shift. So sometimes, and so, just keeping that in mind. Monthly reset questions. What does this have to do with strategy and ranking up? Everything. What are my current personal setbacks to growth? What areas do we need to grow in? My top 3 strengths. And these are something that you can just go through every month, either with your sponsor or just personally, to see, am I growing? Am I learning? What are some of the ways that I can stretch myself? And then this number 7, number 6, I'm currently reading. I suggest strongly to get plugged into the book studies, either the ones for Made for More. Robin's book studies are just so life-changing, and then the ones that Plexus offers as well. I think we've been challenged to read a book, 12 books for 2021. So I'm excited to get started doing that. And then fill in the blank is a sideline accountability partner that pushes and encourages me. I can't tell you how important that is when you just need that somebody who understands what you're going through without having to explain a whole lot. That's very important. Am I making time to fill my cup to things that are important to me? Am I willing to do what it takes this month to bring about the change and growth that I want to see? And the top thing I need from my sponsor is. And then just understanding that, yes, we have a plan. Yes, we have support and resources that we can use. Let's see. I'm going to go back and I'm going to show you one more time. Let's go to the points right here. Okay. So I don't know if, let me just go through it again, the point gap. So you figure out how many points you ended with last month. You look at the goal at your next rank, at the rank points that you need for the next goal. And then you just decide how many points you need to fill in the gap. So to fill in the gap, you would divide that total. So let's say 100 minus 50 is 50, and then you divide that by roughly 5 points if you're early on in your business, but if you're deeper down in your business, by 4 or 3.5 points to see how many ambassadors that you would need to add. And then that is your goal, to add either your team goal or your personal goal, or a combination, obviously a combination of both. So I hope that makes sense. If you are a more visual learner, there is a, that I think that we, oh no, that one is not it. We saw it earlier when I clicked on the page, but it is, I think it does a little bit of, gives a little bit more of a visual on filling in the point gap. Early on in my sharing journey, I did have, let's see, was it this one? This one, okay. The gap, use the sheet monthly. So this is what this, the gap sheet looked like prior to going into the Launching Strong Guide. So maybe if you're a little more visual, you can look here to see. So previous month, endpoints and this month's goal endpoints, and then you subtract the two, and you get the gap. Okay, and then you are then able to put your gap minus the new ads, and then that's your previous month. Oh, okay, so this is the older guide because previous before 2020, we were not getting pay points for $99 welcome pack. So that's why it's important to use the newer guide. So X this out, but it gives you a visual on how you can fill in the gap. So for those that are visual learners, that I wanted to point that out, but that's the reason why we can't use this. So I think, oh, there was one other thing I wanted to show you. I don't know why my computer is doing this. Is this. Okay, so in Leading with Excellence, there are these graphics that show your road to your next rank. So we'll use the road to senior gold in this as an example. So every day of the month, it breaks down how many points you should have by that day. And that gives you a visual daily. Some people have it saved as their screen, as their wallpaper on their phone. They can see it every day, that these are the points that I should be at if I am going to really give it a go on getting to the next rank. So if by the 10th of the month, you're not quite at 89 points, you know you need to ramp it up, and then so forth and so on. So these graphics for every rank can also be found in Leading with Excellence under the Files page. And I believe I can stop that screen share. I hope that was helpful. I think the most important takeaway is have a plan, get a partner, accountability partner, and use the resources that we have and plug in to the Leading with Excellence group for the access to those resources and Made for More for support. Thank you, guys.